Don't tear my singlet. Guys, I'm back on the Dami train. Channel. I hope everyone is doing okay and everyone is doing well. Another day, another Love Island review. I do actually think that was quite a strong episode, guys, and if you watched the episode, you know there's a lot for us to discuss. So as I usually end, I always say, number one, if you haven't yet subscribed, of course be sure to subscribe. Number two, guys, you know there's a heat wave here in the UK. I said in yesterday's review, guys, I didn't even want to put on a wig. My sister told me I had to put on a wig because it's like anything that touches me just makes me hot, but we still have to somewhat look presentable. So please, instead of a hot Ribena, get a cold drink. I have my cold supermalt in the background. Get cozy and comfy, stay hydrated, stay refreshed. And what else was I gonna say? Yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, let's get into this review. Okie dokie, okie dokie. So let's start off with the game. As you guys know, in yesterday's episode, the girls played their version of Snog, Marry and Pie. We did already speak about that in yesterday's review, so if you haven't checked it out, definitely do. But today we're going to speak about the guys, because the guys started off the show with their version of Snog, Marry and Pie. So let's get into it. So Billy ended up snogging Gemma, marrying Paige and pieing Tasha. Very interesting, because you are coupled up with Danica. Very, very, very interesting. You guys know we are tearing Billy's singlet in this review, because as we do know, as the episode goes on, some certain things come to light. But yeah, Danica was 100% angry and upset and irritated, if anything, and I do understand where she's coming from. I mean, I'm in a couple with you. Why would you not snog me? Why would you not marry me? Why would you not even pie me? At least do something, okay? I'm just standing here like bread. Andrew ended up snogging Paige and marrying Tasha and pieing Ekin-Su. Davide ended up snogging Paige, which was very passionately, might I add. If you watched the episode, you definitely know what I'm talking about. But they were kissing it up. He ended up marrying Ekin-Su and he ended up pieing Tasha. Deji ended up snogging Danica after pretending he was going to kiss Indiyah. Oh my gosh, guys. And the worst one was like, Indiyah literally, she came in for the kiss and Deji just went, and I said, hey! It's like I can feel it in my chest right now. But yeah, he ended up kissing Danica, ended up marrying Paige and ended up pieing Indiyah. Dami ended up snogging Summer. Can you see I'm paused? Okay. Dami ended up snogging Summer, marrying Indiyah, but Indiyah literally got the ring and chucked it in the water. Like, how are you gonna come and marry me when you literally just kissed Summer? Bearing in mind, I do get it's a game, but you know the logistics right now between all of us. Is that really the person that you should have kissed? Dami? Anyway, she ended up chucking the ring in the water, and of course he ended up pieing Tasha. Adam ended up snogging Danica, marrying Paige and pieing Ekin-Su, and Luca ended up kissing Ekin-Su, just literally like a small peck, marrying Gemma and ended up pieing Tasha. So of course after the game, the guys were like, oh, it's just a game, it's just a game, because they could 100% see that majority of their girls were rattled. I think if anything, Tasha was definitely the most rattled, and Ekin-Su as well, just because of the reasoning that the guys were given to pieing them. And not that I can't believe I'm saying this, okay, because I tweeted it and someone was like, oh, how can you say it's just a game when you didn't say that, when you said that in yesterday's review? This is a TV show, okay? Our opinions change based on the things that we see and also based on the content that we're shown as well. And I honestly didn't really like the way Tasha was being treated or looked at or spoken at throughout that whole episode. I mean, guys, you guys know Tasha may not necessarily be my favorite contestant on the show. I've made that clear numerous times. She may not be my favorite contestant on the show, but I do honestly feel like the reasonings that Luca and Dami were given, for me anyway, it felt like it was, instead of coming from a game perspective, it was coming across like hatred, okay? That's just all I'm gonna say. But we're definitely gonna get into that later, because as you guys know, the guys do end up apologizing. So of course Andrew was speaking to Paige about Luca and Dami and was calling them twats. Very interesting, because Paige was saying, oh yeah, like I agree, yeah, I get where you're coming from, but Dami's your bestie. So I was just thinking, okay, Andrew's relaying this information to you, are you going to speak to Dami about it? Because clearly Dami's your best friend, and I'm pretty sure you're not going to want to have conversations behind his back when I guess you do somewhat have some loyalty to Dami. Anyway, sorry guys, I'm really getting hot. Anyway, Tasha now ended up joining them and said that she felt like it was a personal attack. Paige, of course, was agreeing as well. I do agree, I'll be honest with you, I do actually agree, only because yes, it is a game, but I just feel like with the angle that Luca and Dami are coming from, it doesn't come across like it was from a playful nature. If anything, it's like, oh, this is my one opportunity that I can actually throw pie in your face. But let me know what you think, guys. You guys know I love seeing and reading different perspectives, different views. Let me know what you do actually think. Anyway, let's quickly move on to the trio, because we're going to go back to Tasha and the whole situation. The trio, aka Danica, Summer and Indiyah, which may be affected because of tonight's dumping. which may be affected, but we're going to get into that later because that definitely does come at the end of the show. Danica was saying that she found Billy snaky for kissing, who did Billy kiss again? Gemma and Mary Page. Am I right? Yeah, sorry, I just had to double check my notes. For kissing Gemma and also marrying Paige, she felt like she was 100% mugged off. And I'll be very honest with you, yeah, I do genuinely feel like, even if you wanted to throw pie in Danica's face, at least something, okay? I'm in a couple with you. We've done bits and bobs. We've spoken about getting to want to know each other. Now the game comes about for us to do snog, marry or pie, and you decide not to do anything for me. And on top of that as well, you are snogging the girls that you did like before you liked me, or before you had the conversation that you wanted to get to know me. So you're snogging Gemma, you're marrying Paige. Those are two girls that I know are potentially girls that you are interested in. So I do understand where Danica was coming from. And of course, you guys know Danica started crying because she just started to wonder, like, what exactly is wrong with me? You know, I keep getting pied off by different guys in this villa. It's making her second guess herself. And I think I 100% do understand, you know, whilst this was going on, I did see some tweets or people saying, why is Danica crying, blah, blah, blah. But you need to understand that she's been in that villa. She's had like experiences with 4 or 5 different guys. None of them like her. She came to this villa very confidently, and now all of a sudden she's starting to question her self-worth and her confidence and her looks and her personality, all because no one wants to take interest in her. And that's not to say that your attention or your self-love or worth or anything should be in the hands of a man, because never that. But at the same time, you do need to understand why she may feel like she's quite vulnerable, and also why she may feel like maybe people just don't want to be with me and maybe I'm not going to be appreciated. So it was really sad seeing Danica cry. I honestly don't feel like she's been dealt the best cards in the villa, and she gave Billy a chance and Billy wants to try and use her like she's a rug. No. So let's move back to the Luca, Tasha and Andrew and whatever situation. Of course, Luca ended up pulling Tasha for a chat, interrupting the chat that of course she was having with Andrew, saying that he wanted to speak to her, and he apologized for the whole thing. It was given producer spoke to him, if I'm going to be honest. I don't know if that apology came across as being genuine. Please let me know your thoughts. But I think it was low-key coming across as like, oh, like, I finally saw that you're fine. I finally have seen that you were quite affected by what I did, and I am very sorry about it, but I don't want you to feel that way. You know, I think you and Andrew are great. So it is given complete 180 compared. Wow, my English is actually in the bin. It's completely given a 180 compared to yesterday's episode. I don't know. I just personally didn't think it was genuine enough. Like, she did say that she did feel like he was throwing digs at her personality, and I genuinely feel like that was honest, because I did feel like Luca was throwing digs at her personality and the game was more personal than friendly. But I don't know if I feel like that apology was genuine. But please let me know your thoughts down below. So let's briefly move on to Adam, Ekin-Su and Paige, because it's given a Lenuboro, okay? If you're not Nigerian, that basically means chatty patty. Adam, Paige and Ekin-Su were basically speaking about the whole challenge and how, oh, they found it a bit weird that Billy didn't go for Gemma. Billy didn't go for Danica, sorry. Why didn't Billy go for Danica? Of course, Adam then ended up snitching that, oh, that's a bit weird because, you know, they done bits in bed. Now, if you guys remember in yesterday's episode, in the morning chat that they had with the morning girls in the gist, Danica didn't actually tell the girls, all of the girls, what had happened. She actually just told Indiyah and Summer separately what had happened. So number one, that lets you know that Danica didn't want everyone to know about it. Number two, she wasn't aware that Billy has spoken to the guys. And number three, Adam, this is not your situation to be speaking about it. So of course, Paige and Ekin-Su were just like, oh my gosh, like, we didn't know. Of course you didn't know, because Danica didn't feel comfortable telling you that. But we're still going to get into that later anyway, because we do know a situation does arise. But personally, that didn't really give for me. I didn't feel like it was Adam's place to speak on something like that. If Billy decided to do what he wanted to do, that's between him and Danica, and whoever they want to tell is whoever's heirs should also hear that information. So let's move on to Billy talking to Danica about the challenge. This is where we start tearing Billy's singlet, okay? That one singlet that he packed into that villa, this is where we start tearing that singlet. So Billy and Danica are having a chat, and of course he can see that Danica's quite pissed off, and he starts laughing and everything, and she's just like, no, we need to talk serious business. What exactly was that? Billy then decided to open up and confess that he definitely does feel like there is a lot of sexual chemistry between us, but romantically, he doesn't feel like he gets the spark. Okay. You think there's chemical around? You think... I actually make myself laugh. You think there is sexual chemistry between us, but you don't feel like there's anything romantic there, and you don't feel like you have the spark. Okay, Billy. I'm actually starting to sweat, I'm so sorry, but I'll be honest with you, I'm very disappointed in Billy. You guys know I actually liked Billy out of all of the Castle Moore guys, so for him to just come on this vibe and this hype and speak about it was given, oh, I'm really comfortable, like I just don't feel like there's something there. Danica was kind of your only ticket to stay in the villa because the public do actually like Danica. No one's saying you should be with her just because you want the public's approval, but I do feel like it was actually quite snaky and also quite shady as well. Like, I'm good enough for you to touch me and do whatever, but I'm not good enough for you to want to get to know me on a romantic level. Of course, Danica, as we do know, is very confident and does speak very boldly, but I feel like even in her response to Billy, she was almost saying like, oh, that's a bit weird, and almost trying to get into his head to understand why he would even come to that conclusion. But yeah, I think honestly, once again, Danica did say something that very good as well, that she feels like she's just going to remove herself from the whole situation, and I like the fact that she has done that. But I do honestly feel like Billy is getting a bit too big for his boots, and we are also going to tear his singlet as the episode goes on, because I really do feel bad for Danica. She's a pretty girl, she's confident, and guys just keep throwing her around like a ball in the villa. I mean, people have feelings at the end of the day. So let's move on to Dami apologising to Tasha for the game and also how the challenge went. In all honesty, it was given whiffery because Dami was speaking and sentences weren't really adding up. It wasn't really making sense. So I once again don't know if him and Luca's apology was actually genuine, or if the producers decided to pull them to the side and let them know, hey, you need to speak to Tasha about XYZ. So let me know your thoughts on that. But right now, I just don't feel like that was genuine. So let's move on to the nighttime. Before we do get into the nighttime, actually, let's firstly speak about what took place before the night. So of course, Summer ended up telling Danica that Andrew told, not Andrew, who's Andrew? Oh yeah, sorry. Summer ended up telling Adam that Andrew, of course, told XYZ about what had happened in bed between her and Billy, and she was very irritated. Summer is definitely a real one for that, because Summer didn't have to disclose that information to her. But I honestly do feel like Summer, Indiyah, and Danica as a trio is defo growing on me, and I do like their friendship together, because honestly, she didn't have to tell Danica anything. Let's move on to the guys speaking with Andrew. So the guys got together and spoke with Andrew about the whole situation and apologised, saying that they definitely want to see him happy with Tasha, that they're very sorry for their remarks and the challenge and blah 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 blah. I have said this in my previous reviews as well, boys don't know how to hold grudges. I mean, they can definitely be beefing and have issues between them, but once they talk and they hug it out, everything is fine. So yeah, I guess it's nice to know that the guys are all on good pages between one another, because Andrew did of course call them twats, but also did feel quite betrayed at the way they were treating him and also treating his girlfriend. So let's move on to Danica and Billy speaking part 1, because as the episode goes on, you guys know there's also a part 2, and I have words for both of them as usual. So of course, Danica and Billy were having a conversation, and she definitely let him know that she honestly felt like it was very disrespectful that she has heard from someone else that what took place between them has basically leaked into the villa. He kind of tried to make light of the whole situation and laughed about it, saying, oh, I just thought everyone knew. I just thought everyone knew. If I'll be honest, I don't think I heard an apology. Please let me know if you did think you heard an apology, but I don't think I heard an apology. But yeah, he pretty much just told her that he's not feeling Danica whatsoever. And I was just thinking, I'm not trying to be funny, but Danica is actually not your mate. Danica's not your mate, Billy, okay? Danica's not your mate at all. And Danica did also say in her confessionals, like, you know what, forget him. He was definitely punching with me anyway. So I do feel like it was actually quite nice that she's taken-ish a positive approach to the whole situation and been able to see that it's not necessarily her, but also him. He may be the problem. But she did, of course, say as well that this is the 5th time that she's been pied off in the villa. So yeah, like I did say, I do think it is a shame. I do feel like Danica hasn't been dealt the best of cards in the villa. But she's a pretty girl, and I don't think it's too late for someone to enter the villa per se. But then again, the villa's getting a bit crowded. But if Danica doesn't find love in Love Island, I really hope she does find love outside of the villa. We'll briefly speak about Ekin-Su and Davide, our mum and dad, our toxic and favourite mum and dad. They're basically speaking about life outside of the villa. And I think she said ti amo or te amo, meaning I love you or I like you and things like that. So they definitely did have quite a good chat. I do feel like Ekin-Su and Davide, not only are they toxic for each other, but they definitely do work. They ended up sharing a kiss as well, and it just looks really comfy, you know. I feel like they definitely look quite comfy in each other's arms. But yeah, that's Ekin-Su and Davide update, to be honest with you. Ekin-Su is head over heels over this guy. Ekin-Su is head over heels, and I understand, okay, because we've all been there. We've all been there. So let's move on briefly to Billy talking to the guys about the whole situation. It was quite funny because I honestly do feel like Billy wanted the guys to side with him, like, oh, like, I don't know why she'd be even mad. And Deji was like, nah, bro, like, yeah, you are a prick. Like literally. And I was like, Deji, Sorosuke, speak up, speak up, speak up. Because Billy, yes, you cannot have feelings for someone and maybe your feelings can change, but with the way he treated Danica last minute as well, the challenge, everything just coming together, like when did your mindset change, sorry, that, oh, maybe Danica isn't the one I want to get to know? I don't know, it's not really given. I know it's just really not really given. But let me know your thoughts on that. I like hearing your thoughts. So let's quickly move on to Dami and Indiyah speaking, okay? Guys, let's move on to Dami and Indiyah speaking, because number one, I'm sweating. But also number two, they were speaking about the challenge and how they kissed other people. So I do feel like it was quite a banterish conversation between them. She was saying, oh, I didn't really appreciate the fact that you kissed Summer, and he was saying, okay, but you ended up kissing Deji. So I didn't feel like they had any malice between them when it did come to the challenge and who they ended up kissing. Dami also did say that he was thinking of moving to London. No surprise there. I do feel like London does have more opportunities for the islanders once they leave, and also just in terms of businesses and things like that, and partnerships and sponsorships, I do feel like London is where it's at. So it's no surprise that he's considering moving from Ireland to London. Anyway, you guys know that Dami ended up proposing to Indiyah, and it definitely made me laugh because I'm sure Indiyah actually threw that ring into the swimming pool. So either the producers gave him a new one, or Dami did actually swim and make sure that he did get that ring. But he ended up proposing to her. So Indiyah was like, oh, is this a promise ring? And he said, oh, I don't know, like, it's whatever you want it to be. Number one, if you're giving a girl a promise ring, please give it with intention. Okay, I don't want to hear it's whatever I want. Tell me what you want it to be so I know exactly what it is. So Indiyah was like, oh, like, does that mean we're exclusive? Like, what exactly is it? And he was like, oh, don't worry, like, it's not like a girlfriend ring. I'm not asking you to be my girlfriend just yet, because of course she was saying, like, you know, I'm really going back and forth, but of course she was saying, like, you haven't yet met my family, so she doesn't really understand what it was. But guys, I'm about to say this. Don't tear my singlet. Guys, I'm back on the Dami train. I'm sorry, I'm back on the ship. Oh, guys, they're just cute. Oh my gosh. Did you not find that scene cute? Am I the only one? Please let me know. Please actually let me know. I'm back on the ship, guys. I'm actually back on the ship. I'm back on it. And some of you were tearing my singlet on Twitter like, Sarah, how could you? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but that was cute. Okay, that was cute to me. Okay, that was cute to me. And also, Dami has a trim, so I think Indiyah's head is just head over heels, because you know when your guy gets a trim, it's a lower Jackie, don't cry, no beg. So let's move on to the nighttime. Of course, Indiyah was telling them, you know, the whole situation. Dami done this, Dami done that. I didn't actually peep this, okay? Someone actually tweeted under my tweet saying that Paige actually gave Indiyah a huge side eye when she was, why did I do that? Huge. Anyway, a huge side eye when she was speaking about the whole Dami situation. Guys, I'm very sorry if the quality looks a bit different and I've shifted and I've changed. My battery literally just died. How's my battery gonna die after I finish speaking about Dami and Indiyah? Is that a sign? Let me know. But let's move on to the morning. Of course, the girls end up getting a text that they were off to a VIP party. It's actually quite funny how they get so cute and so happy and giddy, because they have parties every night. They actually do have parties every night. But of course, we'll move briefly. Yeah, let's just quickly speak about the main event that took place at the party. I'm not even really going to speak about David and Ekin-Su because I feel like the conversation was the same per se. But let's quickly speak about Billy, Danica, and that whole bish bash bosh situation, right? So of course the girls are speaking. It was Gemma, Indiyah, and Ekin-Su. First and foremost, the quality of the camera was so crisp. It was given Towie. I did tweet it. It went from Love Island to Towie real quick, okay? But they were speaking about the whole Billy situation. She was saying that, you know, she's very upset that she allowed Billy to get to her head and mess with her head. And of course, Billy was overhearing them. Was he really overhearing, or did the producers actually place Billy and Deji right next to Danica? So of course, while Danica is basically slagging off Billy and blah, 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 Billy's like, what? What's she saying? What's she saying? So I did already say this because of course you guys know Danica did end up going to Billy, and sis was on 100. Okay, there was no 0 to sis was on 100. She was swearing. She was just like, actually, I've just slept on it and I've woken up and I just feel like you are an absolute this, you're an effing this, you're an effing that, effing and blinding. And of course, at first Billy was laughing about it, but then he was like, okay, you don't need to shout, you don't need to do this, you don't need to do that. And yes, you guys do already know we stand Danica here, and I do 100% think that everything that she said was valid, okay? But my question is, was that a genuine conversation, or did the producers actually place them there to have that chat? I just don't feel like it came across as being authentic. The second she started shouting and getting much louder, we've never seen Danica like that. Not saying that she wouldn't be irritated with the whole situation, because I would definitely be irritated. But with the whole placement of the scene and the topic and things like that, personally for me, I did feel like the producers could have had a hand in that. Please let me know your thoughts as always, but I do feel like the producers definitely had a hand in that. Like I said, we don't really need to speak about Davide and Ekin-Su too tough. They're just having the same conversation again. Davide and Ekin-Su are smitten over each other, speaking about going to Italy, meeting the mum and things like that. So yeah, I can see that Ekin-Su is smitten, okay? Like I said, if when you know, you know, okay? When you like a guy, you like a guy. And Ekin-Su definitely does like Davide. We can briefly speak about Paige and Adam. They said that they're happy with the connection that they have, and then they started kissing. Jax who? Thank you very much. So let's move on to Laura. So Laura, of course, ended up arriving with her wedges. You guys know Laura loves a wedge, okay? Laura 100% loves a wedge. And she, of course, did announce that there were 2 girls and 2 guys who had the fewest votes that will potentially be leaving the villa. So out of the 2 girls with the fewest votes, Danica, number 1, you guys didn't understand the assignment. Why was Danica in the bottom 2? We're supposed to give her time and opportunity to shine and find someone in that villa. And number 2, Summer. Because now our favourite trio is actually being split up. Out of the 2 boys, Billy, no surprise there, Billy had one of the lowest votes, and Dami. I was quite shocked. I thought they were going to call Deji, if I'm going to be very honest with you. Someone did say on Twitter the votes are rigged, the votes are definitely rigged. I do know the public haven't really been taken to Dami well over the past couple of days, but for him to receive the lowest, you know, for him to have received the fewest and the lowest votes, very interesting. Anyway, the decision for the people who are going to be dumped from the villa is going to be left in the hands of the islanders. Out of the girls, I do think they are going to keep Danica. Oh, would they keep Danica? Or would they keep Summer? Because Danica technically has had 5 chances and nothing has worked. And maybe Summer deserves a chance at love. I don't know. But I think out of the guys already, Dami knows he's being saved. Okay? They're not saving Billy. Especially after the antic of today's episode, they are 100% not saving Billy. So guys, I'm going to quickly wrap up this video because my camera is flashing red. Okay? But I would love to know what you guys did actually think of that episode. Overall, I do think it was a very strong episode. It was very upsetting to see Danica cry, if I'm going to be honest with you. I don't feel like she's been dealt the best of cards in the villa. And yeah, tomorrow we're going to get one dumping. A girl and a guy is going home. Apparently some new bombshells are coming in. I don't get how that's going to work when the show literally ends in 2 weeks. So very interesting, but let's just see. I'd love to know what you did actually think of that episode down below. So as always, please feel free to comment and let me know what's on your mind. But nonetheless, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please take care, stay blessed, and I shall see you tomorrow. Bye.